It's time for a new project and also to try out a new camera angle. So I moved it here to the side. I want to see if it will help me to keep my head out of the screen because my head gets in the way all the time. So for the occasion, I even got a new craft mat. Now it's blue. I'm not sure if I like that. And here is a project I will be working on. I found this wall clock at a thrift store. It has a little explanation here in the back, and it was handmade for someone's wedding in 1989. So it's not super old. But when I put the battery in, I was happily surprised that it keeps time really well. So it's working, yay. So here on the inside, there is the original decoration piece, which I already took out. I will also remove the hinges so the door can come off. I will then use my black and white gesso just to give it an initial coat of paint. Now, thankfully, the little clock face lifts up just so slightly, so I should be able to paint around it and not lose the nice crisp edge. So I painted it off camera, let it dry really well, and this is what it looks like now. I added white to the bottom part. I painted everything else in black, just the edges on the back, and the door too got some white on the inside and black on the outside. Next, I cut a piece of cardboard to size, and here I'm using my tacky glue just to attach some popsicle sticks, and those sticks will help this piece not to lay completely flat. Now, a really good friend of mine gave me this very cool and awesome puzzle. It's all about clock parts, and I want to use it in my art. But of course, first I had to put it together. And this was not an easy puzzle to do because of its very detailed and yet repetitious design, the muted colors. It took me a while to figure it out. There were also a few missing pieces, as you can see, but finally I managed. And when I was done, I separated the puzzle into manageable sections, so it's easy for me to use it in my artwork. Here you can see that I glued one of the sections to my piece of cardboard, and now I am cutting off the edges. Now, before I glued it down, I actually painted that piece of cardboard black, so the missing puzzle pieces, or the holes, would show up a bit better. A little more black on the edges, and now from here on I think you can follow everything I do very, very easily. So any mediums I will be using or any explanations that you might need will be in the captions. Now, working with this new camera angle coming from the side is definitely something I have to get used to. And now there were a couple of segments I had to edit out because I was completely out of frame. Now, I think one of the reasons is that this project is a bit large for my rather small table. But second, I just have to get used to the new space I'm occupying and what the camera picks up and what it doesn't. So for the good part, my head wasn't in the way. So that was one of the goals. Anyway, please enjoy the process. Let me know what you think about the camera angle, and I will talk to you in just a wee bit. So nearly done now. I'm just adding a few more gears, some pieces of chain, a minute hand, a key to those puzzle elements, and that will help them to integrate a bit more into the rest of the piece. Now, rather than giving you a detailed look right here on my desk where my project really doesn't fit very well, I took it upstairs and I used my phone so you can get a really good look at it. Now my phone takes a moment to focus, but I think it works all right. So here is my little owl. I like the way it came together. I added 2 tiny drops of orange paint in its eye socket. Otherwise, it's just the way you saw him earlier. Here is the top part. Now, actually, after I finished this video, I realized the top looks a little bit empty. So I added some more lace, and there is a photo towards the end where you can see what it looks like now. And here are the little elements I added, mostly from my broken jewelry stash. I picked pieces which either are bronze, gears, or they have some brown or orange to them. There's a nice little pen tip down there as well. And now to the other side. Now you can also see the nice gold robin buff. I purposely didn't overdo it with the colors. I just distressed the edges more or less. Here are some roses I painted. There's a little closure. And yeah, so here's the rest of the details. Now on the back, like always, I cleaned it up by adding some craft paper. It's faded newsprint with stripes. It took 2 pieces to cover it all because this clock is rather tall. So now to the inside. Now the clock face was of course unaltered. First of all, I didn't want to mess with the mechanism, but also it looks quite nice. It has nice numbers and a nice design. I think the camera will pick up the details on it. And those gold corners, I think, or bronze corners, complemented it well. So here is my puzzle piece, the big gears, and then this cool locket. I found this at the jewelry department in a thrift store. So it's actually broken. It doesn't stay closed, but it worked perfect here because the door of the clock keeps it closed. It says now is the time, and the little see-through heart, I liked it because you can still see the inside design of this locket. So the little magnet holds it on. Where is it? There. And then, of course, the chain attaches to the hook. And that gives this piece a movable part, which is always something I enjoy doing. So that's it for my clock. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you come and see me soon again. Let me know about that camera angle. I'm curious to hear from you. Stay safe and bye-bye for now.